Alright, welcome back. Today is the video I'm going to show you how to get a building for the tax haven base in a sub-fief console to 7.5 stories. And I do know that 8 is impossible, and I can show you real quickly why 8 is impossible. If you look at this, you couldn't get that any closer to pixel perfect on the bottom than what I've got right here. I don't even know how I have these things that tight to the bottom of this, and then we'll go up and I will show you that I can't get any higher. I can't get a full 8. Alright, so this is the 7.5 right here, and then a railing. But look where it is. Now it's close. It looks like, oh man, I'm going to be able to fit it. So if I take that off and I try to put in a half wall, it does exceeds building height. It just won't let me put in that half wall. Now I crouch down. Let's see if it'll give me a better indication with how much over I'm at. It looks like I'm pixel perfect again on the top. It's not enough. So 7.5 is the absolute limit. And I'll be right back with you, and we'll go on to my test server and we'll build it then. Now that we're over here on my test character, this is my main character, I can show you how we actually build the structure. So the first thing and the steps that I'm going to talk about are important that you follow them in order to get the height correct. The biggest issue is you really want to have it as flat as possible because it gives you the most space. Like, why are you even building a 7.5 story tax haven if you're not getting the most space out of it? So it drives me crazy when it does that. I would suggest having a little over 100 metal with you because you may have to delete and redo the console multiple times, and however much you want to use to build with. So we're going to go to the console. We're using the sub-fief. Remember, this is a tax haven base. You're going to pick a spot. You are not going to move this up or down. Whatever the ground says it is, that's what you're going to leave it. You're going to plop it down. Now, I am going to just pick a foundation. It doesn't make any difference. I am not going to change this height either. I'm just going to place it. Then I'm going to come to walls, and I'm going to go up 3 full. This is the difference between the standard tax haven base that goes up 2 or 2.5. That gives you 6.5 stories. This one gives you 7.5 stories. We're going to get a ceiling up there. Now we're going to delete this. I'm going to climb up to this. And this is where the kind of shenanigans happen. It's better to do this at nighttime because in the daytime, besides it melting you, the sun makes it really hard to see the boundary. So we're going to go back to our sub-fief again. Now I want you to notice, if you look, we're going to look to the right corner towards that fuel cell that's on the ground over there. And watch the corner. Now I'm going to hold control, and I'm going to use my mouse to go up. See the boundary coming up? And now it's up. So you have a couple options here. Right there, the boundary is actually under the surface of the sand. Right there, it is the surface of the sand. And right there, it's above it. Now, I have my mouse set. Some mice have this option where instead of an infinite spin, I have precise control. So it's clicks, click, 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 click. And I'm going down 1 click. We're going to put it right there. We're not going to put it there. That's our starting point. So now I am going to go down 12 clicks. I know that's a lot. I'll show you another way to kind of gauge it. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, look at it. Do you see how there's this kind of highlighted green, I don't know, border above the sand? You want what's below the sand to be close, but also less than the thickness of what's above the sand. That kind of green, shadowy border. Now I'm going to click it right here, and we're going to see if that worked for us. Come down, we'll take a look at this. So do you notice this kind of green stuff right here? And the bottom, where the boundary is right there. They are close, however, this portion is less in thickness than that portion, and we're going to see if that worked. I personally like to use this one to at least start it, because it just makes it easier for me. You're going to notice you cannot place it right now. It won't place. So this is the frustrating part of this build. You're going to come way back here. You're going to go push your mouse out until it goes above the ground. We got to get back in our claim. We're going to come down till it just touches. Okay, well, a little bit more. Oh, too far. Alright, so now we're touched. Now I'm not even gonna touch my mouse. I'm only gonna use WASD. That way it does not change the orientation of this in any way. So I want to get close to the edge. This is for those of you that also still want to do the triangles on two sides. You need this in the pocket so tightly, and it still might not work because it's tough, but we're gonna try. This is why foundation's easier if you want the triangles on the two sides. Now I'm W forward until I get to that edge. Back it off a little bit. Make sure I'm tight in that pocket. Again, I'm only using WASD. I'm not touching my mouse. Alright, that looks good, so we're going to build it right there. Here's where we get to find out if we are correct on our vertical height. If a floor will... Nope, we are not correct. I need to go down one more. So 12 was not enough. Notice exceeds building height limits. I cannot place a floor snapping to that because I didn't build that tall enough. Alright, so this can probably stay. At this point, we just need to go up and redo this. As much as I would love to say, oh hey, move that one down, it doesn't work that way. We have to delete it and do it again. This is why you bring a little bit over 100, because you might have to do this a couple of times. That's not going to be able to stay because it's going to have to... Yep. Alright. So we're going to come back up. We're going to find the match. Right there. Now we're going to down 13 this time. 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13. Put it there. Or delete this and redo it so I can get it as tight in that pocket as humanly possible. Alright. So... come up. Alright, so we're back inside. Okay. Alright, let's see if that worked. That worked. So, you notice I'm not getting the exceeding building here. Watch. Boom. There's a floor there. And I'll prove it. Doom and floor. Nothing here. But we got doom and floor. So now let's see, did we get the vertical right? So that's 1. 5, 6, 7. Let's see if we're going to have enough height. Yep, probably. I'll show you what I mean by this. There's something you're going to notice on these. You cannot place walls. You can't snap walls to a column, to a corner column. It does not work. So you have to use a floor. So we're going to use a floor. Go all the way up to the top one. And we're going to see if we got the right height on this. We're going to go for a wall. We got to go for the correct type because we don't have half wall in Dune, which I don't really understand that, but okay. And then let's find out if we can put a railing as well. Alright, so we do have the correct height. You notice it is tight. Like it's barely above that, but it is correct. So I'm going to delete this and I'm going to show you something else on this. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus you saw me put a half block up there. In my opinion, the easier way to do this is start with a half block on the bottom, and you need to keep in mind that you are snapping to the floor. So we need to build a full floor across this whole entire thing. We're going to go ahead and put this on that right there. And we're going to delete all this because it's going to be in our way. So let's just continue on with the Dune. We'll put the floor across the whole bottom. There's your one. There's your 5 that way. And your 5 that way. Now we're going to do the whole rest of it. The reason that you want these floors in here is for snapping points. It's a pain if you have to always come out from the edge and... Oh no? Oh, right. I need more columns. I don't need to go all the way up. Just put it there. Now we put it. That should be good now. But it gives you snapping points. Now, if I was able to get that close enough, I should be able to do triangles. I did not get it close enough. So even though I put it as tight as I could get it, this is the problem with this type of build. Yes, you get another floor vertically, but you don't get the triangles on the outside. So 6 one, half dozen the other, and pick your choice on that. Go ahead and stick another corner over here. So now we have our 4 corners. But there are people, they're like, I don't really want a corner. What if I want to do a rounded? Well, you do a rounded by doing this. So we're going to put our 2 columns there. We're going to delete this one. You notice we have floors here because we saw me build them. And this one's a square at current. What we're going to do is we're going to delete that. Boom. We don't have a floor there anymore. And I can prove it by doing this. There's nothing there. Now there is. Nothing there. Now there is. So we're going to change this over to a rounded top. The hard part is you can't see how you're placing this. So the simplest way is do this. So you need it to be that orientation. That means the arrow needs to face towards that arch right there to be that orientation. And there it is. And there's perfect. Proof in the pudding. So now you have a circular end, if that's what you choose to do. And from here you just build up. And we'll go up and I will show you that it is correct. In my opinion, going from the half wall on the bottom up, I think is a better option versus putting the half wall on the top. So we'll do a little switcheroo so it's very easy to tell the difference. Nope. Alright, so we've got half block there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus a half block, plus a railing. And that is how you build the tallest possible tax haven base you can get. Possibly, since this one sticks out a little bit, if you were to use the Dune corner column, because it's more square, you might be able to get it tight enough into this corner so that you can get your triangles on either end. It's going to be a challenge. It will not be an easy chore to get done. But if you can get the 7.5 vertical and get the corner pieces on, man, you've got one hell of a structure you can build with. Here, let's do something real quick. I just want to recheck this just to make sure I'm not tripping on this. Yeah. So it is just too much by literally, oh god, 1 or 2 millimeters. Like it's barely. So if you are super careful at getting that tight in that pocket, you might be able to do it. It's going to be a challenge because normally we're doing this with a foundation. So I got it close, but I didn't get it close enough. So I would need to do it a little bit better. It's just really difficult to do when you're holding it at arm's length, you know, and trying to sink it down and then trying to... It's not easy. So there you go. That is how you get your 7.5 stories. I am not going to fully rebuild that whole other thing because they're so personalized. It's going to be for your own taste. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.